And Libyan rebels say NATO has launched new strikes near the town of Zintan, while Gaddafi's loyalists are also reported to be shelling rebel positions near the border with Tunisia. Now, for more on the conflict, we're joined online by our correspondent Nathan King, who's in Benghazi. Thanks for being with us, Nathan. What is the latest on this fighting between the government forces and the rebels?
Yeah, well, I'm actually out on the eastern front as I talk to you. That's why I'm on a sat phone. And it's very, very quiet here. There is talk of a preparation of a push to the west towards the oil-rich town of Brega in a couple of days, but we see little evidence of that at the moment. What we are seeing is in the western mountains, heavy shelling by Gaddafi forces, mortars. There's a traditional Berber community up there, and there has been a lot of refugees spilling over the Tunisian border, around 30,000 in the last few days, according to UN officials there. Also, we are seeing a NATO counter-strike in the town of Zintan, an oasis. That had also been hit pretty hard by Gaddafi forces earlier this week, but they did withdraw and suffered some sort of damage. But it's really isolated pockets of fighting. The key eastern front in terms of Ashdabia is still very much held by the rebels, and we of course are looking at the town of Misrata. There has been shelling over the last couple of days, but nothing like the fighting intensity that we've seen last week. So we can't call it a stalemate, but definitely both sides are not unleashing all their forces on multiple fronts at one time.
And Nathan, what's being unleashed, of course, are the millions of dollars the Libya contact group has agreed to provide the rebels with to help them drive out Muammar Gaddafi. Money certainly does help, but in this particular case, how will it be used to help the situation?
I think everything. The rebels here in the east, especially in Benghazi, need money just to pay salaries. People are very, very nervous about not getting their salaries next month, and it would have been a real test for loyalty to the rebel cause if they had run out of money. And of course, the NATO partners don't want that. And so this $2 to $3 billion will be used to pay salaries. It will also be used to try and build up the infrastructure here, keep doctors working, medical supplies. We were in the hospital in the last 24 hours, and they're running very low of the sort of things to treat burns, bullet wounds, and that sort of thing. A very new hospital without supplies. They also have pledged that it won't be spent on weapons, although how that actually happens in terms of accounting and transparency, we'll wait and see, but it will be used to pay military salaries.
All right, many thanks indeed, Nathan. That's our correspondent Nathan King, who's in Benghazi.